I'm not sure if this is a statistical anomaly or maybe this is the trend. You're going to have the Big Ten and the SEC. And it's almost as if the SEC Commissioner, Greg Sankey, gave his athletic directors a directive. Hey, we're more than just football schools. Let's become a basketball conference as well. And we have 7 SEC teams that are still alive. But it feels like this is the Big Ten and the SEC against the rest of the college basketball world. And I'll talk to Jay Billis about what is the future with college basketball. By the way, happy Transfer Portal Day today. Of course, it should be on a Monday after, what happened over the weekend and the Sweet 16 coming up. Why do we have the transfer portal during tournament play? Why do we have the transfer portal during the bowl season as well? Now, I know the timing of semesters with schools, but it's just a bad look. Imagine if you're coaching in the Sweet 16 and you know maybe one, maybe two of your players would be playing for somebody else. And I could envision this scenario. At the end of the game when the coaches walk by and the players walk by, you imagine a coach, let's say he just lost or you just lost, and he'll be like, hey, why don't you get in the transfer portal? We'll see you next year. Congratulations. Hey, transfer portal. Congratulations. It's just a bad look. You don't need to. At least you shouldn't have it during tournament time. And I guarantee there are players who are playing who will not be playing with their school next year. Guaranteed. All right, we'll have a poll question, play of the day, stat of the day, all of that coming up. Connecticut's out. St. John's is out. Wisconsin's out. Xavier's head coach is going to the school that he knocked out in the first four, as Sean Miller is going to Texas. So he was at Arizona, had some problems there. Xavier bailed him out, got Xavier to the tournament. Now he's bolting for Texas. Welcome to college athletics at its finest. We complain about the kid. These coaches rail about the transfer portal. The coaches have been in a transfer portal for decades now. It's silly when you hear them bemoan the transfer portal because coaches do it all the time. All right, Seton, what's poll question today?
Yeah, I think we'll start with the tournament, obviously. Paul sent in one. The NCAA tournament is better with more underdogs or heavyweights.
Okay.
I feel like there's a sliding scale, but the key word there is more.
Okay.
You probably want more heavyweights typically, but this year it'd be nice to have a few more underdogs.
I can't see John Calipari in Arkansas as an underdog.
But he is, though.
I guess, but there's too much money in Arkansas. It just, you got Walmart money down there.
That's not something said very often, by the way.
No, but
too much money in Arkansas.
There
is one family that has a ton of it, though.
Yes.
They have too much money, but yes.
I've never viewed John Calipari. Well, maybe at UMass, he was an underdog. Maybe when he was in college as a player. But in this tournament, I guess he's the underdog. Is he the feel-good story in this tournament?
Hey, just a little plucky. We're just trying to keep this magical run going.
If this was Arkansas State, then I would go, okay, yeah. But that's not Arkansas State. It's just Arkansas. I think we always want to have that one school that gets into the Sweet 16 or Elite 8, and you're able to go, wow, George Mason. Look at them. Loyola. Oh, that's great. What a great story, a cute story. Then we sort of want to kick you to the curb. Then we go, okay, let the really good programs play for the championship. What other poll questions do we have today?
What word better describes this year's tournament other than madness?
Ooh.
March sadness. That's for you, Todd.
Okay.
This year is more like March sanity.
Okay.
Kind of chalk.
Okay.
Pretty much.
All right.
March NIL is stacking the best teams and crushing the smaller schools.
As long as it's hyphenated, I'm good with that. We always love the hyphenated schools.
March, pretty much what we expected.
Yeah. Doesn't
quite ring the same way, but yeah. There's got to be a better word though, because it's not really as mad as you'd hope this year.
No, but you have to have alliteration. It feels like. March. Yes, Todd.
Marchocki.
That's not alliteration, but
No, but
the judges will accept it.
The CH from March and the CH from Chalky, it seems.
Marchocki.
Marchocki.
All right, I'm going to give you a bloop for trying that hard this early.
Marchocki.
Yeah, Marchocki.
It's actually
Marchocki
one
Dennis.
word. It's
Yeah.
the CH in March turns into the CH of Aukie. Marchocki.
Marchocki. Okay.
We're going to put that one on there, toddler.
Yeah, the judges will accept that. Marchocki.
Marchocki.
Yeah. I don't want to say it's been boring, and it's been a little more predictable than I would like. And, you had the Maryland win. That was exciting, but you haven't had buzzer beaters for the most part. A lot of blowouts. But I don't know if this is the trend, because we always want to be ahead of things. We want to know what the trend is going to be the next couple of years. Connecticut lost, and, boy, they're going to look at that game film and go, wow, did we have wide open looks there. Danny Hurley, the head coach at Connecticut, getting emotional, talking about his seniors.
I was a coach. I don't know necessarily. I was in the hot seat going into 23. You got to ask Dave Benedict. But until these men, until Alex Carabin put on the uniform, and Haas Sampson, the players change your life when you have such special people.
He's such a polarizing guy, but and I was watching with other people, and they weren't Connecticut fans. They weren't from Connecticut, but they thought that he was my coach because I live in Connecticut. I go, I didn't go to Connecticut. I know Danny, but he's not my coach. But do you want somebody who is that passionate, who cares, that is a pest, annoying, all of those things, but great at what he cares. You may not like the antics on the floor, and at times I feel embarrassed for him. He can't change. And it's not like it happened when he got to Connecticut. He was like this when he was at Rhode Island or Wagner or when he played. This is who he is. And if you think he's animated, you should have seen his dad coach high school because his dad was worse. But he does care. He's passionate, and he's going to reload. They got 3 of the top 100 players. He's recruiting some freshmen coming in. He's going to have transfer portal kids as well. But I like the passion that he has. I don't like when he engages with the fans. He got fiery, during the loss. You're calling out a foul was an egregious call. It felt like he was trying to fire his team up. I don't know. It was just kind of a strange eruption from him. But Connecticut, they're going to look at that and say, we had our chances. A lot of wide open looks. I was accused of East Coast bias as I was heaping praise on Rick Pitino all last week. He's still one of the greatest coaches of all time. He is. They just didn't play well. And give Arkansas credit there. I mean, we love to give blame. Arkansas played well. And they took it to St. John's. Here's Rick Pitino on why his best player, R.J. Lewis, was benched late in the game. Here's the reporter's question.
You had RJ on the bench, for a pretty long stretch at the end. Was that just because he just wasn't making them, or was there something more to it?
Played 30 minutes. It's a long time.
So he was tired?
No, played 30 minutes, and I went with other people. You already know the answers, Roger. You're asking leading questions. You already know it. So don't ask leading questions. You already know why he didn't play.
Was there one play with RJ that made you sit him the last 5 minutes?
You know he was 3 for 17. You know he was 0 for 3. So you're answering your own. I'm not going to knock one of my players.
Okay, he makes it worse by the non-answer. In my opinion, Rick Pitino needs to say, he was struggling, I sat him down. Now, me, if I'm the coach, he's still the best player on your team. He's the Big East player of the year. I still want him out there. Is he one-dimensional at just scoring? I want him out there. This game is going to come down to the wire. I want him out there. Maybe I tell him, let's try to take it to the hoop. Let's try to get some free throws here. He's still your best player. And that reporter had every right to, because I'm watching the game. I don't know if this kid is hurt. I've watched him play a couple of games this year, got to see highlights with him. He gets buckets. But I would have said to him, let's get something inside. Let's try to get a cheap bucket, maybe and one, go to the line. That's what you want with the scorer. It takes one basket, maybe two, and all of a sudden you kickstart him. But that reporter had every right to ask that question. Look, Rick was a little frosty. He just lost to, Calipari, who he doesn't like. But they thought they had a Final Four team there. They weren't good enough to get by Arkansas. Arkansas deserves the credit. Pitino's still a spectacular coach. He is. He's one of the top 5 college basketball coaches probably of all time. Hey, got his lunch handed to him. Yes, Eaton.
Yeah, but resurrecting St. John's, not an easy thing to do.
No, but he did it.
It's not easy to get kids to go play there.
Yes, but he did it. Did a great job. But this happens. There's only one team who's going to win. That's it. So John Calipari could get bounced. Was it a great year? They started out 0-5. Now they're at the Sweet 16. John will join us coming up, final hour of the program. Jay Billis will recap the tournament. Also, we'll talk about transfer portal day. You can tell the analysts do not like talking about the transfer portal. They do not. But it's real. It's right there in front of us. It's happening right in front of us. It happened right in front of us during bowl season. Kids sitting out because they're transferring. And all the whispers, and this is when somebody's going to get to somebody, parents are at these games, somebody's going to talk to somebody about their kid. And you're going to have, players coming and going. That's why when Danny Hurley sat down for 60 Minutes and John Wertheim said, how many players do you think are already talking about the transfer portal? And he says, I think 50%. Well, John should have followed up and said, how many are you going to bring in? It evens out. He's probably got 50% of his roster coming in from the transfer portal. Okay? Everybody's a thief in this. Stop. Yes, Marvin.
I saw a stat. Of the 80 starters in the Sweet 16, nearly half came from non-Power 5 schools at one point.
Yeah. Well, Florida's best player, Clayton, was at Iona. Now he's going to be a lottery pick. I mean, it's the kid who was Oakland's best player, Townsend. He's at Arizona. I get it. This is unfortunately for us because we grew up in an era where you stayed, where maybe it was 3 years, maybe it was 4 years. Now, what's wrong with you if you leave after, don't leave after your freshman or sophomore year? Yes,
Yeah, I get the down part of it to some degree for smaller schools. However, I kind of feel like you have to support kids being able to do that. If you're playing at a smaller school and you play really well and all of a sudden somebody's like, here's $250K to come play at this big school, you get to play another year. You maybe play yourself in from being, that's the end of your career, to maybe now I'm going to the NBA based off this 1 year that I have at this bigger program, and I get a little bit of money in my pocket. I support that all day, all day.
This could have been mitigated a long time ago. It really could have. It's just nobody believed it was going to happen. And then it happened, and then all of a sudden, the sky is falling. I mean, it is. It's just changing athletics. College athletics is changing right in front of us.